Hey, what's going on, everyone? Appreciate y'all coming here and checking out this Oblivion Remastered video. In this one, I'm going to be discussing some things that are happening around in the game, as well as with the community. Hope you all find this informative. Let's go ahead and just get into this. So, in case you don't know, Bethesda recently dropped an update before the weekend, making it so we can't upscale, such as no DLSS and no FSR. This really upset a lot of players. Here's just a few for an example. This person tweeted out, "Yo, why would Virtuous Games push an update to Oblivion Remastered that removes all upscaling right before the game's first weekend? No DLSS, no FSR, rest in peace playable performance, disable auto updates, or disable internet connection." He's pretty much saying to, not let this update happen. And here's another example. "Patch ruined the game." This was on Reddit. "Since the patch that just dropped, I can't choose any upscaling method anymore. It's just turned off and that's it. Outside of cities, my FPS jumping like a cat with a burning tail. Anyone have an idea?" And yeah, the comments are even agreeing. You're not alone. It's removed all DLSS and CSS options for some reason. And this person said, "Bro, I went from 90 FPS average all settings max to 40 FPS with everything set to low. Oh, and I can't play at low settings because there's a ton of graphical glitches that makes the game unplayable, and going any higher than low reduces my FPS to sub -30s. And here's another thing about the update. This person left on Reddit, and he wasn't sure what was going on because he couldn't find any patch notes, and the comments helped make it clear for them. "They disabled upscaling and the game now runs worse for the majority of PC players. No patch notes yet." Yeah, why did they do that? Makes my game literally go from beautiful at 70 plus frames to ugly potato at 30 FPS. They also reset my ESP plugin text files. And here's another one. "These MFers better be coming in early tomorrow. I'm sick of the performance drop from their patch." So yeah, you can tell this guy's upset. And at the same time, he's kind of joking too. I mean, he doesn't expect them to come in early to fix this. At least I hope not. But he definitely does want it fixed. And we're also seeing a lot of other players as well reporting that they also want this fixed. Players did experience a huge performance drop, but there's some good news. There's some good news, guys. Apparently, with the patch today, they did come through and they did return the upscaling back. As you can see, game crashed literally as this came out, but at least DLSS is back. So yeah, it seems like they did revert that update because a lot of players were upset. But apparently there's still some major issues going on. Actually, there's a lot of major issues still going on that are annoying players. As you can see here, patch made performance much worse. 75 FPS now on everything. Ultra plus frame gen in some areas on a 4090. 344, 1440. Absolute joke. Before I was almost always at 120 with same settings. I'm having similar issues on a 4090, but this person ended up saying, "For me, it's the opposite. DLSS is finally effective. Make sure to check your settings because the patch reset everything." Me personally, I'm not really running into any issues, at least anymore, with the upscaling and graphical settings. I would love to know your guys' thoughts though. If you are, I will be real though, I am experiencing crashes still. But on the positive side, it is good that Bethesda is listening to players' feedback and did decide to revert the change that they made about upscaling. It shows they are listening. And there's also some more promising news that I'll be getting into further in this video. But first, I wanted to cover what this guy said. This is some important information to talk over because, these are some problems that are happening in the game that, developers could end up squashing out if there's more awareness of them. As you can see here, it's great Oblivion is back, but this remaster really needs some polish. There's so many constant little bugs that annoy me. And here's some of his examples. Let me know if you guys are experiencing any of these yourself. I know I'm experiencing a few of these myself. Like crashes, for one example. I am crashing quite a bit back to the home screen. But anyways, some examples this guy pointed out for like the little bugs. Chameleon invisible potion, invisible visual effect doesn't appear after the effect wears off. You need to unequip and re-equip all your gear to get rid of the see-through look. Enchanted weapons, particle effects randomly don't work. Spell and other particle effects that hit your character persist. After the Dragon Shrine, I was like a walking 90s ray with all the particles. I was glowing yellow, white electric, and some other stuff. Had to restart the game to remove them. Inventory screen, your weapons are invisible unless you're re-equipped. The Starlight spell only works if you cast in third person, and even then it doesn't work every time. First person, the light never appears. NPCs' names don't always appear when you aim at them. Shield stays permanently equipped, stuck to your arm sometimes. Not sure if just visual or if it actually equipped. Health bars don't always appear when you hit enemy with a ranged attack. Sometimes after multiple hits, The crazy ghosting with FSR, I've never seen it that bad. On AMD, so no idea how DLSS is. And I'm also guessing the sprint animation is a bug. I'm sure is a bug that can't be legit. The Siege of Kavach, Storm the Courtyard bug, and never defaulting to local maps when in a dungeon. And this is of course not mentioning the performance issues that he's experiencing. But yeah, that's some of what's going on. But we have some answers from Bethesda themselves on the Bethesda support page for Oblivion. As you can see here, this person said, why are the DLSS upscaling options missing in Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered? And here's how Bethesda responded. The hotfix pushed live on April 25th, 2025 was for a few back-end tweaks and nothing directly impacting gameplay, but we've seen it's affected some Microsoft Store players' UI settings for graphical settings, specifically related to upscaling and anti-aliasing. Any graphics settings adjusted prior to the Microsoft Store hotfix are still enabled and function normally. However, you will temporarily be unable to adjust those settings due to the issue with the settings UI. The team is taking a look and working out a resolution. We will share more info as soon as we can. So yeah, that resolution has came to fruition, it seems like, because with today's update that we got, they did revert some things back. So hopefully that does fix some of the performance issues. Anyways, here's another thing that they are aware of and are fixing. Why can't I see the light type spells like Starlight and First Person? We are aware of an issue where light spells that are cast on your character such as Starlight are not visually appearing while in first person. If you switch from third person back to first person, it may resolve the issue. This issue will be resolved in a future update. So that's promising news. There will be a future update fixing that. Anyways, here's another issue that's happening that Bethesda responded to. What do I do if my character is too tall and can't fit into some areas in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered? We are aware of 2 issues with character height and these will be resolved in a future update. Sweet. Characters are the same height regardless of what race they choose. Characters are very tall in first person, which can prevent the character from being able to fit through some areas. If you run into this issue, exit the game and come back in and try the spot you can get through. And lastly here for another issue that Bethesda is aware of in Oblivion, this person stated, why am I seeing Oblivion gates at the start? And Bethesda responded stating, we are receiving reports that some players are seeing Oblivion gates appearing earlier than they should in Oblivion Remastered. So they are aware of this happening and could be resolved in a future update. The more you try to talk to them on Bethesda support and talk about your issues that you are having, the more chances the bugs will hopefully be squashed out of the game over time. So yeah, there are a lot of glitches and bugs happening in the game, and players are reporting about them on Reddit and are pretty upset about them, as you can see with just some of them that I shared with you. Just go on Reddit and look. There's so many players talking about the different bugs and glitches they're experiencing. Speaking of experiencing, here's just one that someone left in the Oblivion Reddit. Check this out. What the heck is going on here? So crazy. So yeah, I guess that's wrapping up this video. Hopefully this was informative to y'all. Feel free to jot down below in the comments, by the way, any bugs that you may be experiencing as well. But yeah, I'm out of here. As always, most importantly, appreciate y'all taking the time, watching and listening. Until next time, peace.